Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. My name is Frank, and let's talk about harnesses. So this has been a hot one for a while. A lot of people just ask about the harness system, how I made it specifically. Not so much as it pertains to the suit, but like literally, how did I make this? What buckles did I use? What straps did I use? What's nylon? What's elastic? So I kind of wanted to take a couple minutes to show you guys that and all the different things I've been using and that you guys can use to actually attach cosplay armor, suits, anything together, whether it be the helmets, the hands, the gloves. So let's jump in. I got a bunch of stuff here to show you, and some of it I still use, some of it I've evolved past. You use it, you think it's a good idea, and a lot of it can still be utilized in that sense, but there's just a multitude of different methods, and I just wanted to show you guys what I kind of landed on and what I've kind of gone through this journey. So the harness system I'm wearing serves one purpose now. As you've seen it evolve through the Mark 85 builds, originally it was meant to just support the legs. Eventually it evolved into supporting the back and the chest. I even had the battery pack supported off the center here. Well, I've kind of gone back and devolved it a little bit. Now it's back to more of its original purpose of only supporting the legs, and that's all I need it to do. So with that, what is this thing made out of? Well, it's made out of some nylon straps, some elastic straps, some buckles, and some duct tape. It's very lightweight, it's pretty comfortable, even though I'm probably gonna add some foam or pads to the shoulders, but this thing is very, very comfortable and easy to wear, and I'm pretty happy with it. And everything on it is actually just nylon straps looped through a bunch of buckles and clips and little tensioners, and the duct tape's only to help keep everything secure. I can take this entire harness apart if I want. Now you can make it permanent. You can get staples, you can get snap clips. There's a lot of different things you can do to make this 100% permanent. You can sew it, you can do whatever you want. But this, I can take this all apart if I wanted to, and it's actually helped me a lot while I've been revising and reworking a lot of the straps and stuff in the suit, because I can move things around and nothing's permanent. But everything's on there well enough where it's not gonna fall off too easily. So let's start right at the bare bones. Iron Man gloves, cosplay gloves. How did I even attach these together? So these are all on elastic bands, and what I like about these, instead of more solid hinge joints, is these can bend. I can fold these and mesh these and move these, and they're not gonna break. Now, if I had a hinged finger, I could only bend it in one direction, and if I ever try to twist it or anything, it's gonna snap. So using the elastic works great, and this is just utilized by taking simple elastic bands and gluing them to the inside backs of the fingers, and they work absolutely wonderfully. That's actually the same system that's holding this hand topper onto the back of the glove, another nylon strap, to give me a little bit of flexibility right there. So you get your hands on some nylon strap, which this can be had on eBay or Amazon, super cheap. You can get a bunch of this really cheap, and you can cut it down into smaller strips. But the problem is attaching this. How do you attach this to plastic? This is cyanoacrylate, CA glue. It's a two-part glue with a glue and an accelerator activator. Now this comes in a pen that you can actually just kind of put onto the parts, or sometimes it comes in a spray. I like the pen because this is what I use on the straps, and this is what I use on the plastic. This is actually what's holding all these straps onto the armor. And I have an elastic strap glued on here, and then I have a nylon strap glued on here. Now I'm gonna show you guys real quick how I actually attach this to the armor or plastic. This is part of the suit, I can take it right back off. So you're always gonna wanna kind of sand and scuff the part that you're gonna wanna apply the glue to. So make sure it's nice and clean, good to go. And I'll take the actual gel glue part and apply it kind of liberally to the spot. I get a nice little bead band going right inside there. Now hopefully you guys have already kind of measured out what you want to actually glue. What are the lengths of the straps? What are you going to be doing with it? What is the whole overall purpose of this? And the reason I like this activator stick is because it actually soaks into the strap, and it actually kind of forms into there. Now, a lot of you have probably tried to use super glues, epoxies. I've never had good luck with those specific individual things, but you get the strap almost a little damp with the activator and throw it right onto the glue. Now you gotta be careful. It will kind of leak through a little bit. But what I've noticed, what's really good to do is you actually take kind of a point and you start making scores and cuts. And what this does is it helps pull the super glue up into the strap, and it helps secure it, and it dries incredibly fast. This is already dry and good to go. Now what's cool about using these types of straps is I have a lot of pull in this direction. It would take a lot. This band would probably break before I actually got this to come off. But say you mess up and you don't want it on there. Well, what's nice is a similar way that magnets work, where they're really strong in one direction but not in the other. If I start to pull it like this, it comes right off. So I could go reset this, reposition this, and trust me, that was dry. This is all dry super glue already. So that's how I'm attaching all these straps, and it doesn't even need to be these elastic straps. It works just as well with the nylon straps. And that's actually what I have sitting here in the bicep. This is a nice strong nylon strap, but if I ever needed to move this, I could then peel it off that way and reposition it, which I've done quite a few times. This CA glue also works absolutely great for bonding plastic pieces together. This is exactly how I've been attaching all of my extra rafts, the rafts that hold my LEDs in, all these buckles and straps. It's a very versatile kind of glue, and it really reacts well with PLA and these types of plastics. And again, all my bands and straps are nice and strong. My rafts are nice and secured, and I don't have to worry about it. And you can see there's a big cavalcade of straps and buckles inside of this thing. And if you'll already notice, there's no noise. What I've done is I've lined all the edges with felt tape. Again, Amazon special, just search felt tape and it's non-friction tape. And this stuff is wonderful. I've gone and lined basically all the edges of the suit so they don't rattle and make noise. And most importantly, they don't scratch each other. Down here, I was getting a lot of scratches, and I'm gonna need to repaint this probably because it did suffer some damage, but now it doesn't rub and scratch on itself. And when you're walking around moving, it doesn't sound like a bunch of plastic clinging and clanging together. So you have yourself some straps though, and you're thinking, man, how do I get buckles? What do I need to get? Well, what's cool is Amazon usually gives you a big multitude of parts. Now, this is probably just the standard size buckle. I don't really know the dimensions and millimeters and standard sizes of them. Google them, you can find them, but this is like the perfect size for this buckle. And this is pretty much the standard buckle I use across the suit. It's just a simple plastic buckle, and you can even 3D print these. I don't know if I would trust that much. It's kind of easier just to buy them, and they fit together very nicely. And this strap fits ever so gingerly right through. And from there, you can start getting creative on how you want to actually make your harness and strap system. Now, you can do a couple things here. On some parts of the suits, I've just glued this together, and then I have one solid connection. That's what I've done underneath the shoulder pad. This is just the band folded over itself and glued into position, because I don't need any adjustability here. Once I have this size dialed in, I know it goes on my shoulder just fine, and I don't need to be able to move it around. Whereas when I was dialing in the biceps, I left one of the adjustable pieces here for a friction fit. This way, if I needed to, I can move the bicep up and down when it's buckled into the shoulder. Now, if you guys have never messed with buckles or straps like this, it's all about how you fold the buckle through the part. So what you're gonna want, these are gonna come with are little friction form locks, and you want to feed these through the straps like so. And you got to play around with these to kind of get a better feel of how you actually maneuver them. And I'm sure you've all seen this on a backpack. You can adjust the strap up and down. And what I'll do is I'll move it about halfway down. You throw it around the buckle, and then you loop it back over top of the actual strap. And now you have the strap in place. So now when I pull on it, it's going to cause that friction in there, and this isn't going to want to come apart. Now, again, from here, you can do a couple other things. What I've done while testing and doing adjustability, because if you start to pull on this a lot, it might start to loosen. You can even fold it one more time back through itself. That's even more secure. I've thrown duct tape around here. I've glued this together. You can do anything you need to hold that together. You can get snap clips, you can get magnets, you can really get whatever you want. But that's how you kind of get that to secure and stay together. And with this, you can start adding straps, making a harness. For the main harness I did for the suit, I focused on making suspenders and then making a waist system that comes around my waist. It kind of holds everything together. This way it doesn't want to shift or adjust or move. What I just showed you is exactly what I did to the back. It's looped through, it's looped back through again, and eventually I might just throw a little bit of tape around this to hold it together to kind of discourage it from slipping through. That's all this is. This is just stopping this from moving left and right around itself. Parts on the front of the strap is the same method, a smaller buckle, and this way it can actually slide up and down the strap, and I just use the duct tape to try to help keep it to hold its form. Now, duct tape is very handy for helping cover things up. What I'll do is, even when I glue the straps on, I'll throw some duct tape over top of it to help secure it a little bit better. I got this giant roll of black duct tape that actually makes the inside of the armor look much nicer, and I've been slowly adding this to the armor. I also got some red, not really sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but it also might help kind of make the inside of the armor a little bit more appealing. And this is all the felt tape that I was talking about. And the reason I put it in the shoulder pads is so as the shoulders move up and down the biceps, this part isn't also scraping and scratching everything. The duct tape can also be used to hold straps temporarily in position before you apply any glue to them all. I did that on a wide variety of parts where I'll just tape the strap into place, wear it, see how it fits. Okay, this is where we need to go, and then I'll glue it into place. Two other mediums I've kind of messed with for making the harnesses and strap systems were actually a multitude of magnets. Now, if you've seen some of my other videos, you've probably seen these cool little purse clasp snap magnets. And I'm sure you've seen these on a woman's purse or some types of clothing where there's a little point and a little recess and they lock together. Now, these aren't really meant to be too strong in this direction. You can pull these apart pretty easily, but they will hold a purse or some clothes, you know, nice and secure. What they are very good at is shear strength. Trying to pull the magnet apart this way, very difficult. Now, if you have a normal ceramic magnet like this, obviously you can take it and you can slide it apart very easily. But with these little self-aligning pins right here, they don't want to come apart very easily. And you can take advantage of this when attaching certain things to the armor. As it sits right now, one of the only magnets on my entire suit is actually sitting right here behind the chest. And what this does is it helps hold the shoulder in position as I lift my arm up. And this is a little bit of a helper strap. So I have my main strap that's sitting here holding the whole shoulder pad on. But right in here, I have a secondary tiny strap that's actually just meant to clip in and keep the shoulder forward oriented. Now again, I can pull on this all day and that magnet's not going to come out. But if I take this off and I pull back, it comes right off. So you can kind of think about these magnets and just how you're going to orient them, and if they're going to be on a shear strength, if they're going to be pushing or pulling, and then you can really kind of figure out what you're going to do with them. Now, not all magnets are created equal. These are very low strength ceramic magnets. These are made for arts and crafts. These can be used on like your refrigerator, but unfortunately, they're really not that strong. These don't even reach and hold each other between my fingers. These are very, very weak magnets. And they're kind of big, and they're kind of heavy, and they're kind of bulky. So I wouldn't really know the application for these in cosplay. Maybe for decoration, of course. But you can upgrade your life and get your hands on these really, really awesome neodymium magnets. Now these things are no joke. These things are super strong. These can cover a much stronger distance, and they're strong enough to even connect through my finger. Now these have a little, since they're perfectly round, they do have a little bit of a self-centering property. But again, to get them apart, it's much easier to shear them apart, slide them, than it is to actually pull these apart directly. Now, you can get as creative as you want with these. I've never had too much luck with gluing these directly to plastic. Glue on a nice, smooth metal surface typically doesn't work. But what you can do is get pretty creative with how you actually secure these to a print or a prop. And what I've done is I've actually hidden magnets on the inside of this helmet, and they're actually secured right in there with a raft that I've melted onto the helmet, and then I've gone and attached two tiny rafts to the inside of the faceplate, and it keeps the faceplate up with absolutely no remnants of a magnet ever being there, and you can just barely see them at the very top of the faceplate. And what I've done is I've taken some leftover raft material and folded the magnet into it, and now I have a little bracket, a very safe little magnetic bracket that I can glue and attach anywhere onto the armor. Now, again, this is going to eliminate any self-aligning property it has. It's very easy to shear it apart, but you can get creative with this in helping, you know, especially something like a helmet to stay open. And this is traveling through 2 layers of plastic, and that neodymium magnet is still holding pretty strong. Now, if I flip this forward really hard, the faceplate will come down, but you can increase the magnet size. You can do just a bunch of different tricks to get the magnet to be stronger and have it in a better position. But currently, this works just fine for me, and it doesn't even get in the way. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is Velcro. Now, I struggled a lot to get this chest plate to align properly with the back plate. And eventually, I kind of went back to my original idea. My whole idea in the beginning was Velcro, but I wasn't happy with it. I got kind of low quality Velcro, and I was having trouble with it. Then I moved to magnets. Then I moved to these buckles and straps, and I just had to keep it simple. And sometimes that's what you have to do. Go with your first kind of instinct and ride on that. I spent so much time trying to over-engineer this system that it was kind of pointless in the end. And now, this comes off just fine. And then I have a whole little Velcro system right here. And this duct tape was only added to try to lessen the Velcro feature, because I actually added a little bit too much. So I just kind of covered it up, and it works great. And whenever I need to, I can pop this on, and it locks right on. comes right off. Now you can get Velcro in just a ton of different sizes on Amazon. I got this really beefy long roll. I've already used a good amount of it because it's also on the waist section of the armor, the shoulders, and it's in a couple other just small spots for some details. I was also able to get this really big box of Velcro, and it comes in a giant roll that you just pull out like tape, cut what you need, fold it in. This is absolutely wonderful, and I think I'm gonna always stock a box of this from now on. This stuff's pretty good. I have buckles and straps and Velcro and tape and rafts all over this armor. There's felt here. I used extra raft material to make these cool little hidden brackets that come around my waist. I have a whole buckles and strap system to keep this nice and secured. And all of this, it's just really your imagination and how you want the armor to go on. I spent a lot of time test fitting the armor, standing in front of a mirror. All right, this needs to look like that. This needs to be in that direction. Okay, if I move like this. And it's a lot of trial and error. There is no cookie cutter perfect way to do any of this. You need to understand the properties, how the motion's supposed to work, what is your end goal, and then you can apply all of this to actually making your armor fit and secure and all of that. And granted, like I said, this isn't the end all be all way. None of this is. You guys might develop your own way that just blows all this away. So please let me know if you guys come up with even ideas that I never thought of. My friend Aaron was the one who introduced me to these magnetic purse clasps, and I use these on all my helmets now. These things are amazing, and they actually can conduct electricity since they're metal, so you can make some pretty cool magnetic contacts using these. Like I said, with that, I was just trying to think about, all right, how am I going to hold the legs up? Is it going to be better to cross them over my shoulders, cross them across my back? What's going to be the weight distribution here? And it's really, again, just trial and error. I put the legs on, I walked, all right, this doesn't feel right, let me move them around. And if this is eventually what I landed on, and it's a pretty simple harness and strap system, and all the little wraparounds that I was talking about, that's what's utilized here. It's all over the place, and everything's just taped together or folded into itself, or it isn't going to want to come out. I think that kind of does it for this, guys. I could stand here all day and just beat a dead horse and say, this is how I did A, B, C, D, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to waste your guys' time. So this is all the systems I've kind of used. Again, they'll be applied differently to absolutely every single armor you make, and I'm still going through and revising it. There is always a better mousetrap when it comes to this kind of thing. So get out there, experiment, and see what you come up with. If you guys haven't already, if you could subscribe to the channel, I really like teaching this stuff. Go check out my other videos. I have a multitude of other cosplay tutorials that I've learned through all of this, and hopefully you guys can learn something too. Hopefully you guys learned something through this, and please let me know in the comments if you guys have your own ideas, other little methods, tips, tricks that I've just never even heard of. I really love hearing about them, and it can make this all easier for even myself or somebody else. If you guys aren't already, check out the Discord channel. We have our whole own Discord for cosplay, 3D printing. If you're a beginner, if you're a pro, if you have no idea what 3D printing is, if you've always wanted to try cosplay, this is the place to be and talk to people. Everybody there is so awesome. We're about to hit 400 members, so maybe you can be the 400th member. That'd be awesome. And it's just a wonderful community, and everybody's been so warm and inviting. Even if you want to lurk and just read everything that's there, that's totally fine. It's a free Discord. Stay tuned. I have a lot more tutorials coming with the suit pretty much near the end of completion. I have a lot more I can be covering with it. Electronics, painting, all of these multitude of things that I still have to cover for you guys. So thank you for being patient. And if you guys have any more tutorial ideas or things you want to see that I haven't covered yet, drop a comment, message me on Instagram, find me on the Discord. We can talk all you want. So thank you for everything, guys. And I think that does it. Have a good day.